Hey y'all, greetings earthlings. Y'all want some story times? Oh, I got some story times for y'all. Story times y'all wouldn't even believe, but they true stories of my real life. So if you down for the ride, hold on tight, cause the shit I got to tell y'all, a lot of it y'all ain't even supposed to know. But I know it and I'ma tell it. I'ma start with this story time because it helped me to be able to talk about this stuff and not care about being called crazy or none of the stuff that I've been called, honey. So whatever you got to call me, I've been called worse and I've been called better. So I don't get no damn. I don't get no fucks, okay? Now, let's get started here. Now, since I was 2 or 3 years old, I can remember having these experiences. These experiences that I was scared to talk about because my family was real religious. They was heavy into Christian. On top of that, I didn't think nobody would believe me. I said they was gonna call me crazy. I've been feeling like that since I was a little bitty child, so I just been quiet about everything. Now, about 13 or 14 years ago, I actually got proof of something. And I've been talking ever since. So now, since I was little, like I said before, like 2, 3 years old, I can remember having meetings, these meetings with God. Yeah, that's what I said. Meetings with God. Now y'all see why I never talked about this shit? Okay. Now not only was I having meetings with God, but I was having meetings with Source, the source of all things. Okay? Now they are two different beings. Two different beings. I know this because I experienced both of them. They are not the same. Source created God. Okay? I'm going to tell y'all all about God. I'm going to tell y'all all about Source later on. But today, I'm going to tell y'all about this experience. And this experience was with God. Okay. Um, when I was in my late teens or early 20s, I had this experience. And in this experience, I was way up high in the sky, but it was like I was on top of a building, like on a roof. And I wasn't the only one on this roof. God was on this roof with me. It was me and God. Now, in all my experiences with God, it was just me with God by myself. All my experiences with Source, it was me with Source by myself. That's what made this experience different. Okay, I'm on top of this roof with God. Okay, and God is here because it's the end time and it's going down. Okay, now we standing on top of this building, but we looking over the edge. We looking over the ledge of this building and looking at what's going on down below us in the world, like down on the streets. And it's just mass chaos and destruction. Like what you would expect it to be if it's the end of the world times. Okay, now I'm watching all of this stuff happening and it's devastating. And I walk over closer to God and we start to communicate telepathically because that's how it communicates with me. So we start back and forth, and I want out of this, what I call the skin suit, this flesh, this body, this avatar. And I'm wanting out of this avatar to be free. Okay? So the next thing I know, I'm out of the body, and I am in spirit form. Now I can see the body next to me on the ground. And I look at myself and I'm in spirit form. So I'm happy, I'm free, I'm like, yes, you know what I'm saying? It's over, blah, blah, blah. I happen to look over to the left of me. It's another being right there. It's a man in spirit form, like I'm in spirit form. That threw me off because it ain't never been another person there when I'm with God. And this man was in spirit form. And being that I'm watching the destruction going on below me, now I'm thinking I must have died when I know that I'm an everlasting being. So I look at this man and I say, did I die? And this man said, no, take my hand. He said it real fast. No, take my hand. And I reached out and took this being's hand. And then he ascended into the sky with me. Y'all, this man went into the sky with me, holding my hand. Okay? So, after I come back to my body from that experience, I keep asking myself, who was that man? Who was that man? And why did I so willingly hand him my hand? Okay? Could never figure it out. So about 12, 10, 12, 13 years later, I know it was less than 15, but it was more than 10. Years later, I make a profile on a dating site. Okay? As soon as my picture was up, it wasn't even 2 minutes, I was getting hit up on this dating site. And the first guy that hit me up, I contacted back. We talked for a couple weeks, and I told him that we had to meet because we in the same city, and I don't like to talk to people without meeting them for a long time because I don't want to be catfished. So we meet up. He picked me up. We go on this little date. He said he just got off of work and he got to go to another job, so we only got a couple hours. So we went on a little ice cream date. Now we sitting in the car eating this ice cream and we talking. And out of nowhere, he just saying little weird stuff, but it's kind of throwing me off. But I'm telling myself, don't get blindsided by this little weird stuff he's saying because you thinking he might be crazy, but if you told him some of the stuff you experienced, he gonna call you crazy. So don't just throw him off like that. Give him one more chance. I said if he want to see me one more time, I'll see him. But if he say something too off the wall, I'm just not going to see him no more. So he did ask to see me again. Okay? So on our second date, we go eat. After we eat, we outside sitting in the car talking again before we go on to our next destination. So we talking. Everything fine, everything cool. Out of nowhere, this man say, I know you know what God look like. Y'all, when I tell y'all I froze, I didn't know what to say. So I didn't say nothing. I just froze and I was just sitting there. Then he said, yeah, I know you know what God look like. I still didn't say nothing, y'all. I was just froze, just stuck. So then he say, yeah, I know you know what God look like. You know God is an extraterrestrial with tentacles everywhere, and on parts of his body he got these things that look like, and I just stopped him. Okay? I stopped him because everything he was saying was the truth. He was describing God in such great detail that I knew that he knew what I knew. Okay? So I stopped him. I said, stop, right there. Just stop. Just be quiet. He said, why? I said, yeah, I do know what God look like. But I ain't never spoke those words to nobody. Ever. I said, so right now, You creeping me the fuck out, cause it's like you read my mind. And as soon as I said that, the whole experience of being on top of that roof came back to me, y'all. And I looked at him and I pointed and I said, I know who you are. Y'all, he looked right back at me and said, yeah, we were on top of that roof. I knew who you were as soon as I saw your picture online. Y'all, I had my proof. I finally had my proof. This man was sitting in the car right next to me in the flesh. The same man that was on that building with me in the spirit that told me to take his hand. I had proof, y'all. But guess what? I'm going to leave it right there. To be continued. I got some more for y'all. Namaste.